Hi guys, and in this video we are going to learn about multiplying exponents the simple way. Let's get started. So first we're going to talk about the parts of a power. Take a look at this. What you see here is called a power. A power is an expression that represents repeated multiplication of the same factor. Now there are two parts of a power, the base and the exponent. The base of a power is the number or expression that is used as a factor in a repeated multiplication. In this power, the base is 3. I will explain what I mean by repeated multiplication soon. The second part of a power is called the exponent. The exponent is the number or variable that represents the number of times the base of a power is used as a factor. So in this case, the exponent is 2. Okay, so what I mean by repeated multiplication? Let's evaluate 3 squared to find the answer. So we established that 3 is the base and 2 is the exponent, right? And we want to find out how the exponent represents the number of times the base is used as a factor, right? So 3 squared means 3 times 3. Why? Because the exponent 2 implies that the base 3 needs to be multiplied by itself 2 times. So repeated multiplication means that a number is multiplying by itself over and over again. Now note I said multiplying by itself, so 3 squared is not 3 times 2, but instead it means 3 multiplied by itself 2 times. So 3 squared is equal to 3 times 3, which is equal to 9, and not 6. 9. Now let's learn how to multiply powers with the same bases. Let's evaluate 3 squared times 3 squared. What do you think this means based on what we said from before? 3 squared times 3 squared means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Notice the repeated multiplication right there. How many times is 3 multiplied by itself? It's multiplied by itself 4 times. So what do you think the exponent is? The exponent is 4. So 3 squared times 3 squared is 3 to the 4. And 3 to the 4 is equal to 81. Now there's an exponential property that applies to what we just evaluated, and it's called the product of powers property. This property states that when multiplying powers with the same base, just add the exponents. So in the case of 3 squared times 3 squared, a simple way to evaluate it is just to leave the base as it is and only add the exponents. This property is a shortcut and only applies to powers with the same base. Let's explore another exponential property. Let's evaluate 5 to the 2 to the 3. It looks complicated, but really it's not. 5 to the 2 multiplied 3 times is what this basically means. So 5 to the 2 times 5 to the 2 times 5 to the 2. Notice that each power has the same base. So what should you do? You should add, of course. So you should be able to get 5 to the 6. By the way, when there's an exponent of an exponent, say that the power in the parentheses is raised to the exponent outside the parentheses. So in this case, 5 to the 2 to the 3 is the same as 5 to the 2 raised to the 3. And if you work it out, 5 to the 6 is equal to 15,625. There is a property that applies to this too, and it's called the power of a power property. And it states that when evaluating a power of a power, multiply the exponents. So in this case, 5 to the 2 raised to the 3 just means 5 to the 2 times 3. So 5 to the 6. And yet we have one more exponential property to explore. We're going to use variables this time. So evaluate a times b all squared. This means that a times b times a times b. That's what it means by a times b squared. So it's multiplying by itself twice. And that also means a times a times b times b. And simplify that and you should get a squared times b squared, or a squared b squared. There is an exponential property that applies to what we've just evaluated, and it's called the power of product property. And it states that when evaluating a power of a product, find the power of each factor and then multiply. So in this case, a times b all squared is equal to a squared times b squared, which is equal to a squared b squared. So in this video, you've learned that there are two parts to a power, the base and the exponent. The first exponential property, which is the product of powers property, which is when multiplying powers with the same base, add the exponents. Then the power of power property, which means when evaluating a power of a power, or a power raised to a power, multiply the exponents. And finally, the power of product property, which is when evaluating the power of a product, find the power of each factor and then multiply. I hope you like this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.